go to Chicago, folks, where the first full history of a critical part of Chicago's fight for civil rights in the 1960s is being told for the first time in a new book. That book is called Operation Breadbasket, an untold story of civil rights in Chicago, 1966 through 1971. Of course, in the book, you can find out about Operation Breadbasket, of course, initiative launched by the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He was the one who sent Reverend Jackson to Chicago to launch it. All right, folks, let's talk to the author right now, Martin Deppe, of course, one of the Breadbasket's founding pastors. He's from Skype, from Chicago. Pastor, again, a lot of people, again, they see Reverend Jackson today with Operation Push, but not understanding that he was sent to Chicago by Dr. King for a precise reason.
Yes. What's your question?
Well, and that is, again, people have to understand that Dr. King understood the importance of forcing companies to work with black businesses, because in the later years of his life, he understood the importance of economics.
That's right. Dr. King brought the project to Chicago from Atlanta, where it was working well, and he came to the Chicago Freedom Movement summer in 1966, and he brought the project of Operation Breadbasket to the pastors, to the black church, because he saw it as an excellent way in which we could get jobs. And he had just been out to Watts in Los Angeles on day 3 of the rebellion in Watts, LA, in August of '65. And when Dr. King stood up to speak on the third day after 30 people were already dead, he was shouted down. He was told, "We don't want you, Dr. King." And someone else shouted, "We want jobs. So we get jobs. We don't bother nobody." And the concept of jobs as an answer to some of our problems even today, and the crime in our cities, jobs is the answer. Dr. King knew that, and he brought a jobs project to Chicago where we could bring empowerment into the black community through putting bread on the table, which is the whole point of Operation Breadbasket, putting bread on the table in the form of a steady job and build up the black community. And that's what that project was all about. And we negotiated for jobs, and we had the power of the pulpit and the purse of the parishioner behind us.
And also, folks really don't understand when you think back, I mean, literally the number of African Americans who became multimillionaires as a result of the pressure that Operation Breadbasket put on various companies.
That's a little known story, that Breadbasket helped to build Chicago and build a black middle class in Chicago through the empowerment that we did. In 6 years, we moved, for example, Jewel Tea Company from 220 employees, and black employees, to 997, from 3% to 14% African American in that period, actually in a 3-year period during the 6. And we made significant progress with the covenant, and that wasn't, and not just in jobs, but in putting products on the shelves: Baldwin ice cream, Joe Louis milk, and Conway soap products, and RGB barbecue sauce, and Parker's sausage, and a number of other things were put on the shelves, as well as black services servicing the stores with banking, with scavengers, with construction. And Breadbasket had an impact in building the South Side of Chicago and a real empowered black middle class, which we have today as a result. The people don't know that.
I always say this here, and obviously you were one of the founders in writing this book. I always ask this question. It's my last question to you. I ask this of every author. What was the one thing that was your wow moment as you were writing this book or researching it?
Well, many, but one thing that struck me was that even though Dr. King did not like the phrase Black Power as a slogan, we were doing Black Power. We were empowering the community economically, bringing, in those 6 years, increasing the income in the black community by $57 million in jobs, services, and in products on the shelves. And it was an incredible movement. Reverend Clay Evans said we were miraculous. We brought people together across all lines and all bridges and all walls. And Breadbasket was that kind of a movement, and it's been lost in history. It needs to be told. Our black young people need to know that Obama didn't come out of nowhere. That that Breadbasket is part of a long strain of justice making, and Jesse Jackson was an important part of that, and his run for president, and then finally Obama's presidency.
The book is called Operation.
It's a long line.
It's called Operation Breadbasket: An Untold Story of Civil Rights in Chicago, 1966 to 1971. Pastor Martin Deppe. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
You're very welcome.
A peaceful protest turned deadly. 37-year-old black man was shot and killed by Baton Rouge police. Your hands are in the air, and you still get shot by the cops.
Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead.
We're not going to let hate define us.
Race is a big part of this.
If truly all lives matter, then all lives need to matter equally.
What we require is action. What we require is accountability. We understand that black lives do matter, and we will keep focused on this issue.
NewsOne Now, every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.